many of you will lead are capable, truly physically capable of doing what is necessary under fire. They need to be fit, not fat, sharp, not shabby, especially our leaders. And that's why we're reviewing how the department has maintained standards in the past, especially the last 4 years, and whether those standards have dropped.
Hello everyone, welcome to Sentinel. Today I want to discuss a fairly controversial topic about troops being overweight. You just heard the Secretary of Defense talk about he wants the military to be fit, not fat, to be smart, not shabby. And evidently he took a lot of heat for it by calling people fat. You got to call a spade. Fat is fat. And then on top of that, as I was doing some research, I came across this article about 66% or 2/3 of our reserve forces being overweight. Now imagine this. Our active duty military is about 1.4 million troops, and our reserve force is about 500,000. So over 300,000 troops in our reserves are fat. And that's completely unacceptable. And the reason being is because we've allowed the standards to drop. And we cannot operate like this. We're not running a fat farm, we're running a damn military. And to be in the military, you gotta have the highest standards of physical and mental toughness, because that's what breeds a warrior mentality. And for the commanders and officers and staff NCOs to allow this to happen, it's unconscionable in my mind. And the reason it's happened is because we're not demanding excellence out of our troops. And nobody wants to call somebody out and tell them, hey, you know what, you're not meeting the standards, and I'm gonna help you meet the standards. When I was a battalion commander, and if you fell out of my unit run, I became the remedial PT officer, and guess what happened on the weekend? That Marine was required to be there for my remedial PT, and his chain of command was also required to be there, because my thinking was very simple. I gave you the opportunity to get this Marine in shape, and you failed. Therefore, you have to be there, and I'll supervise everybody. And I'll tell you what, it very quickly brought about results, because people didn't want to come in on the weekends and have the battalion commander lead a remedial PT. I had no problem with it, because I expected the highest standards from every Marine in that battalion. It's quite really that simple. Now, there's a thinking out there, well, they're reserves, they only train 2 days out of the month and 2 weeks out of the year, and they don't get enough time. You know what? That's bullshit, in my opinion. Because the reason being is unit PT is out there for a variety of reasons. The first one would be morale. You get out there as a unit, you sing cadence, and you get fired up. And the second is for the commander to gauge how the unit's condition is as a unit. The third would be for the commander to see his troops in their PT gear to see if they're overweight or not. And the fourth one would be to get the unit in shape. But let me tell you something. Unit PT is not enough to get you in shape and keep you in shape. It requires extra effort on your part, now, especially in high-intensity units such as combat arms and the infantry. It requires a lot more to get in shape. It requires you to go to hit the gym. It requires you to go run on your own and maintain your body weight. Now, in my world, the only way you can put on weight is by opening your mouth. If you keep your damn mouth shut and don't eat those calories, you're not going to get fat. It's really that simple. It's much easier not to eat the calories than try to burn them off. And so that's part of the nutrition process, right? But for the reserves to, make this claim that, hey, we're the reserves, we don't get enough time to PT, that's bullshit. Because let me tell you something. It requires self-discipline and professionalism on part of every soldier, regardless active duty or reserves or National Guard. You got to have self-pride, and you got to be mentally and physically fit to be a warrior. And this horse shit about making excuses about the reason we're fat. Stop eating, for God's sakes. Stop eating fast food. Stop eating processed food. Focus on protein and vegetables, and and stay away from carbs and sugar. I'm freaking 65 years old, and I try to run 5K every day and hit the gym every day. The reason being is because that's part of my ethos. It's part of who we are. And for a young person in the reserves to say that they can't do it, or because their civilian job requirements are so hard, that's nonsense. Stay off your computer games, get out there, hit the road, and watch what you eat. It's really that simple. And the other thing is for the officers and staff NCOs to set the right example. I travel a lot, and I go on military bases, and I sit there and I watch. And I typically go to a food court. Now, I don't eat that crap, but I'll sit there and I'll watch. And you'll be shocked to see how many staff NCOs and officers and NCOs are sucking down burgers and all that nasty crap. And then they wonder why we're getting fat. And I would even take it a step further with Pete Hegseth. I would ban all fast food joints on bases. There's no need for it. They're poison, and it's making our force overweight and fat. And we're headed towards an obese military, and we got to stop it. I agree with Pete Hegseth on this one. Be fit, not fat. Be smart, not shabby. You're in the military, and we expect the highest standards of discipline, of fitness, of grooming, and also of mental toughness. So this is not that hard to fix, this problem. We just got to start paying attention to it. And the leaders have to start paying attention to it. And the leaders need to start calling out those people that are not making weight and they're fat. Now, I certainly understand there's these big guys, these big farm boys, and I had them in the infantry. And a commander's allowed to give them waivers. They're not fat. They're just big and they're strong, but they're physically fit. They can stay up on the humps and they can stay up on the runs, and they'll certainly outbench you and me in a heartbeat because they're just, they're farm boys. That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about these other people with all that belly fat and hip fat and all that fat. Get rid of it. We got to get fit, America. We got to get fit. It's really that simple. And the Chinese are laughing at us. You saw the video that they pumped out for propaganda about all these obese people working in American factories. That's insulting to me. And quite frankly, it pisses me off, but, they got a point. We got to get in shape, not only in the military, but across America. In my travels, when I travel around the world, I see other countries. For the most part, people are fit. You come back to America, and it's, my God, people are just massive. So as a country, we got to get fit, but it's also going to help us, our mental state as well. Physical fitness is really, really an important dynamic of the human mind. So I commend the Secretary of Defense for raising this issue. It's an important one. It's a personal one with me. And I hope the message gets out there that we need to get in shape, and we need to be fit, not fat, and we need to be smart, not shabby. Those days are far behind us. Now keep in mind that it took us, a couple of decades to get where we are, and it's going to take a few years to get rid of all this excess weight that we've got. But it needs to be done, and it needs to be done quickly. And I encourage everybody to stay away from processed foods, to stay away from carbs and sugars. Please focus on your health. America needs healthy people. We need people that are fit physically, and we need people that are fit mentally. So get out there and exercise, eat healthy. And if you have any better ideas, please share them in the comments. I look forward to reading them. And that's all I got. Stay rugged, stay united, stay lean, stay fit. Con out.